ever in best notes, and she told me, I don't want you to be showing me this. I don't care. Don't bug me. So at that moment, when she told me that, I decided, you know what, for me, studying and becoming someone is really not important. Taking care of my body is really not important. Whatever I do, it doesn't really matter. Throughout all of this time, since I was a child and I wasn't living with my grandma anymore, because I lost my grandma in that way, I put in her place my sister. And I said she's the one who's been with me after I stopped living with my grandma, and so I love her so much. She was nice to me. She took good care of me, and so I admire her. I put her in this pedestal. I thought I want to be like her and whatever. So when all of these problems were happening, one of her friends, my sister friend, tells me that she's using drugs, cocaine and things, and she said, you know, when a toaster went missing, your sister sold it for drugs. And that really broke my heart so much, very, very much. I was like, what? I thought we were supposed to stay out of drugs. I thought that you're supposed to just no steal and stuff like that. At that time, at the same time, I had a boyfriend who was into drugs, and I was trying to get him out of it. And I said, you know what, maybe I should just get into drugs, and maybe when I can understand how it is, like maybe I will help my boyfriend, and now I can become more like my sister, since I don't really matter to anybody. So I began to use drugs. The first time wasn't really good because my body couldn't take it, and I was just throwing up and all that stuff, so I didn't push it too much. But time went by, and I used to get drunk so easily, and I used to feel sleepy so fast that my friend told me, you know what, Anna, it will be good if you can use some cocaine. It will, if you get drunk too fast, it will wake you up, and if you're falling asleep, it will wake you up. So I said, sure, why not? Let's try that. So we start partying hard almost every day. We would just rest on Wednesdays, and I knew that I didn't like the things that I was doing. I wanted to have a better relationship with my mom. I wanted to have a better future. I really wanted to study, become someone. Inside of me, since I was little, I knew there was somebody out there big like God. I knew He was there out there somewhere, but I knew that I wasn't okay to have a relationship with Him. I knew it. I was always very scared of dying. I said, when I die, I know I'm going to hell and I don't want to go there. I was always so scared of reading the book of Revelations and anything that had to do with doomsday. I was like, there's no way I want to hear about that, because I know I'm going to be there and I'm going to die or something. So I was lost. Like, I was totally lost. Many times when I was using drugs, I used to just pray with my friends. I told them, you know what, we don't want this kind of life. We are having trouble with our parents, and we need to fix things, and we can do this. We can ask God. Let's ask Him. And we will pray. We will pray when we were drunk, 5 in the morning, whatever time. And He didn't answer. I think I wasn't ready, and that's why He didn't answer me. So time went by when one time we were in downtown. It was 7 in the morning on a Monday, and we spent all of our money. We had no more money to home, not even to take the bus. And I felt like, oh, this is so embarrassing, being in downtown and not having money to go back home. I don't want to walk home. I felt like that was like a very low point in my life. So right there I start thinking, like, I want to stop this. I tried many times to stop, but it was like so boring without using drugs. It was so boring, and I didn't have any wisdom or any idea of how to stop the things that I was doing. So all I saw in my life is that all of my aunts and my mom and my sister, they had babies. They never got married. some of them have babies with I don't know how many people. And I thought to myself, that's what I'm gonna be at. I'm gonna follow the same example that I've been seeing for generations in my family. So one of my cousins used to go partying with my friend and I, and I don't know what happened with her, but she had to stop the life that she was living. So she went to live with her aunt. Her aunt on the side of her father, and she was a devoted Catholic. So one time my cousin called me and she says, Anna, I want you to come with me. There is a meeting for youth, and I think it will be helpful for you. And I said to her, are you kidding me? I like the way I dress. I like the lifestyle that I have. I like the music. I am devoted fan of Depeche Mode. Are you kidding me? I will have to stop listening to this music. I really don't want to. And she insisted and insisted and insisted so much that I said, okay, I'm just coming to this meeting just this one time so that she would just leave me alone. So I went there, and they start playing music and clapping and giving, I don't know, really good words from the Bible and stuff. And so I began like to break down, and then I start crying very much, and they said, just bow your head and just talk to Jesus and stuff. And I thought, okay, if I really want to stop my lifestyle and stuff, if I really want to have a relationship with God, the one thing that I need to do is forgive my mom. Because if I forgive her, I can be free from all that frustration and resentment and hate and a whole bunch of negative feelings inside of me. So the first thing I did was to forgive her. And it was like a huge thing was lifted up out of my back. It was awesome. I was so happy, so excited. And then after that, I kept on going to church. The next time I said, I need to confess my sins. And I went to confess with the priest, and it was so tough to forgive myself after all that I'd done to my body. All the drugs, all the sex. I don't know how many times I had to pray to God to tell him, please don't let me be pregnant, because I didn't even use protection. I mean, I don't know how many times I misused my body just for exchange of drugs or money or whatever I needed. It was bad. We really didn't have enough money to party, so what do? So it was so tough to ask God for forgiveness and tell the whole story to a priest. And I did that. And I was like a complete new person. I can just see sin in a totally different way. And like immediately, I didn't need to use cocaine or alcohol or smoke or anything. Immediately, I felt loved, peace, so many things that I never ever have felt before. And I knew immediately that I was important. My body is important because Jesus died on the cross for me. So I did an upside down change, totally. I became like in love with the church, in love with the Word of God. I began to read the Bible, and I was able to understand it. I remember in the past I tried many times to read it and I couldn't understand a thing. But this time I was reading it, and any little thing, it would just open a huge door of understanding. I was praying and little prayers were being answered. I was like, I throw away all of the posters and pictures that I had of Depeche Mode in the room, throw them into the garbage, and went and bought a whole bunch of pictures of Mary and the saints and Jesus and all that stuff and put it all over the room. My family thought I was nuts, and I didn't really have that much money, so I sold all the music that I had and bought Christian music. I used to pray the rosary. I thought it was very important to do so, so I was praying it